WWE is facing a major issue right now, and in today's discussion, I want to go into detail about what the problem really is and what an easy solution could look like. WWE is currently in a very unique phase. They are about to wrap up their Clash in Paris event, which as of this recording has 5 matches officially announced. Randy Orton vs. Drew McIntyre is heavily rumored to be added, and by the time you hear this, it might already be confirmed. In fact, depending on when you catch this video, the event itself could be completely finished. But regardless of what happens in Paris, the larger problem WWE faces goes well beyond this one show. The company is on the verge of a big transition. Starting in September, WWE will be moving its premium live events over to ESPN. ESPN acquired the rights and that deal officially begins on September 20th with an event called WrestlePalooza. Now, the name itself is a bit amusing, but it actually has roots connected to ECW. The choice is clearly WWE's way of taking a small shot at AEW and Tony Khan. WWE has been playing the competitive game for a while, and it's clear that this is intentional. But despite the hype around this move to ESPN, there is an underlying issue with the way WWE is currently presenting its shows. Let's start with the Clash in Paris card. The main event is already set to be a fatal 4-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship featuring Seth Rollins, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. Many fans, myself included, feel that Jey Uso has been included in this match specifically to take the pinfall. Others believe LA Knight will be the one to take the fall. But either way, the general consensus is that a title change isn't likely. WWE could go the route of giving Punk the championship through outside interference, maybe involving Roman Reigns and creating friction with Seth Rollins. But the odds of that happening are pretty slim. It's just not where the company seems to be heading right now. So, while that main event has its own intrigue, it doesn't take away from the real concern at hand. The core problem is that WWE has been charging higher and higher ticket prices for live events and premium live events, while at the same time, delivering less in terms of the product itself. In fact, prices have become so steep that even as someone who can write them off as part of my job, I haven't attended a WWE event in over a year. WWE has scheduled multiple stops in Oklahoma, yet I decided to skip all of them because the cost simply doesn't justify the experience anymore. That's one problem by itself, but the bigger issue is tied directly to the premium live events. WWE is charging fans massive amounts of money for events that only feature a handful of matches. Fans are spending thousands of dollars to attend these shows in person, and in return, they're getting only 5 or 6 matches on a card. Now, let me be clear, I'm not asking for AEW-style booking where we end up with 14 matches jammed into one show. That approach comes with its own problems, but I do think there's a reasonable middle ground. For me, the sweet spot is 7 matches. That number feels like a healthy balance where fans can enjoy a full night of entertainment without the event dragging on unnecessarily. Unfortunately, WWE has scaled things back too far. There was a time when WWE pay-per-views would regularly feature 10 matches and last 4 hours. That was the era when the company was trying to drive watch time on the WWE network. They believed more content would mean more value for subscribers. But now, the pendulum has swung in the opposite direction. Instead of too much, fans are getting too little. WWE has shortened the number of matches but filled that time with more advertising, which is a direct result of TKO's business strategy. TKO, the parent company, is determined to squeeze as much revenue as possible from WWE, whether it's through partnerships, ads, or by acquiring other promotions like AAA and essentially controlling TNA. From a business perspective, it makes sense. From a fan's perspective, however, it feels like being cheated. You're paying more and receiving less. To make matters worse, the in-person ticket cost is only part of the problem. On top of that, fans who watch at home will soon face another price hike. Right now, WWE premium live events are available on Peacock, where an annual subscription is about $120. Once the ESPN deal kicks in, though, fans will be paying closer to $30 a month. That's almost like going back to the old pay-per-view model. But again, fans are being asked to spend more money for less content. That's not a sustainable model. WWE may have a hot product right now, but if they continue down this path, I don't believe it will last. Fans love WWE, no doubt about it, but the company is testing their loyalty by pushing the limits of what they're willing to pay for. It feels like WWE is deliberately giving the bare minimum and saving the big moments only for the so-called Big 5 shows: Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and WrestleMania. Everything else feels watered down, with little urgency to watch on a weekly basis. And that brings me to weekly television. Right now, watching Raw or SmackDown live feels unnecessary. You can get the same information by watching a 10-minute highlight video on YouTube or just checking out clips on TikTok and Instagram. That's exactly what many fans do. Why sit through hours of repetitive content when WWE conveniently sums up the storylines for you in quick recaps? Weekly programming has essentially become filler, with only the premium live events delivering the important story beats. That's not a healthy way to keep fans engaged long-term. If I'm a paying customer who is expected to drop thousands of dollars on attending live shows or $30 a month for streaming, I want value for my money. I want to feel like the product is worth the investment of both time and cash. Right now, it doesn't feel that way. WWE is banking too much on the current popularity of its stars and storylines without recognizing that this momentum won't last forever. Fans have too many other entertainment options, and if WWE doesn't adjust, people will eventually walk away. The solution doesn't require a complete overhaul. It's actually simple. WWE just needs to find the right balance. 7 matches per premium live event is the sweet spot. That would give fans enough variety and in-ring action without the show becoming exhausting. That's exactly what NXT has been doing. They started with 5 matches for their premium live events, but recently expanded to 6. The pacing is excellent. The shows are over in about 2.5 hours, and fans leave satisfied. That's the model WWE should look at. And here's another thing that needs to be addressed: entrances. WWE has conditioned fans to believe that entrances don't matter anymore. Gone are the days of elaborate stage sets and unique production designs that made every show feel special. Today, most wrestlers just walk out of a tunnel, which makes the entrances drag on and feel unnecessary. Yet WWE still dedicates 20 to 25 minutes for something like Roman Reigns' entrance. Without the spectacle of a grand stage, these long entrances feel like wasted time. Instead of dragging things out, that time could be used for another match or more actual wrestling. Now, before I close out, let me touch on another part of this conversation: Triple H. Since taking over creative control, Triple H has been widely praised for improving the product, focusing more on wrestling, and bringing back talent that had been underutilized. But even with all the positive changes, there are still criticisms, and they tie directly into this larger issue. Triple H has admitted in interviews that part of WWE's strategy right now is quality over quantity. He wants to make each match feel more important. On paper, that sounds great, but in reality, fans are noticing the gaps. Yes, the big matches do feel important, but with fewer of them on a card, the overall product feels incomplete. There's also been some talk recently about how Triple H is pushing the younger talent. He's giving wrestlers like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and Tiffany Stratton opportunities to shine on the main roster. That's a good move for the future, but it doesn't change the fact that fans paying high prices today want more than just a glimpse of tomorrow. They want a full card with satisfying in-ring action. In addition, Triple H has been dealing with balancing the old guard with the new. Legends like Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins are still heavily featured, while newer stars are slowly being integrated. It's a delicate balance, and one that he's handling fairly well. But again, it all circles back to the same point: if you're asking fans to spend big money, give them a full night of wrestling, not half a card padded with commercials and overly long entrances. To sum it all up, WWE's major issue right now isn't star power, it isn't creative direction, and it isn't competition from AEW. The problem is simple: they're asking too much from fans while giving them too little in return. The ticket prices are high, the streaming cost is about to jump, and the events themselves are offering fewer matches than ever. That's a dangerous formula. WWE is risking alienating the very audience that made them successful in the first place. The solution is equally simple: expand the premium live event cards to 7 matches, cut down on unnecessary filler like overly long entrances, use the extra time to deliver more wrestling. By doing that, WWE can keep fans happy, justify the higher prices, and avoid burning out their audience. Triple H may be steering the creative ship in the right direction, but the company as a whole needs to recognize that fans deserve more than the bare minimum.